This was the testimony of a Palestinian prisoner who was raped by Israeli personnel in Megiddo prison.
نزعوا بنطلوني والبوكسر ورموني على الأرض على وجهي، وبدأوا في الضرب على ظهري بشكل مبرح وعلى مؤخرتي بشكل مبرح. شعرت إنهم قاعدين بيحاولوا يدخلوا شيء في منطقة المستقيم. هذا الشيء اللي دخل سبب لي ألم كثير.
There's an overwhelming body of evidence, reports, witnessed, and first-hand testimonies of sexual violence inside Israeli prisons. Yet perpetrators still get away with it.
We know that there's a zero conviction rate, and seeing what happened with the ICC judges, ICC itself, was sanctioned by the US, makes you really wonder what's going to happen to organizations like ours if we ever try to seek accountability, whether it was locally or internationally at this point.
There's a system of impunity that protects Israeli soldiers who inflict physical and psychological harm on Palestinians. To understand this, we can look at academic anti-colonial studies that talk about zones where legal protection is suspended and people are treated as living dead, meaning their humanity is no longer legally recognized. This was the case when empires colonized foreign lands and inflicted all forms of violence upon indigenous people. Violence they wouldn't inflict on their own citizens. Through the transatlantic slave trade, which forcibly moved 12.5 million Africans to the Americas, and through displacement caused by Western-led wars in different regions, the distinction between outside and inside the colonial states' borders became blurred. So it needed to establish those zones inland, and so came prisons, camps, and ghettos, to name a few.
Widespread phenomenon in detention centers in geographic areas, different geographic areas that are completely separate from each other. Women were being completely interviewed by different field researchers, are saying the same thing over and over again. And because the fact that they were not even connected to each other, and the fact that they were dealt with a completely separate Israeli army brigades at the time meant to us that it was systematic.
Under this framework, Israel is considered a settler colonial project. The existence and survival of such a project depends on the eradication of the other, those it deems non-human and who threaten its existence. And whatever is non-human can be treated in inhumane ways. This is the context in which sexual violence in Israeli prisons becomes normalized.
By sexually torturing people and by committing all these crimes and sexual violence within detention, it's not limited to prison. It's a tool of humiliation and degradation and to assert domination. And in many instances, it's just to take revenge on people who had nothing to do with anything. They're not charged with anything.
And if this is what's documented, how much more remains buried?